I am Quincy Davis. I am a key account manager.
I am Hannah Kidwell. I'm a second-year apprentice.
I'm sorry, I'm a foreman.
I am Tian Tran. I am an estimator.
I am Angela. I am a project manager.
Cesar Villa, foreman.
I'm an area manager for the Southwest region.
Brian Ramirez, Superintendente de Loenbro.
My name is Evan. I'm a journeyman.
I'm Duffy. I'm a night set engineer.
I am Maxwell. I'm an avid comic book reader.
I'm an avid shoe collector.
I am a bookworm.
A Lego connoisseur.
Throttle junkie.
I'm a sister.
I'm a friend.
I am a singer.
I'm an outdoorsman.
I'm from Honduras.
Painter.
An outdoor lover.
I am a hiker.
I am a son.
I'm a father.
I am a husband.
I am a mom.
I'm an architecture school graduate.
An archer.
A dog dad.
I love dachshunds.
I am a racquetball player.
I'm a fly fisherman.
I'm a Marine.
I am the guy that gets things done.
Hago que las cosas sucedan.
I'm a college athlete.
I am kind.
I'm an artist, triathlete.
I am Loenbro. I belong.
All right, good morning. I love to start out with our people. We know our employees are so much more than their job, and they are looking for so much more from their job, a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. Our employees can be our biggest asset and bring us our greatest joy and celebration, but they can also require a lot of time and can be a lot of challenge. So I'm going to share some of our journey here in this in the workplace around purpose. And I want to take us back just after 9/11 when we started our business. Many of you know me as one of the founding partners of Weifield Group. We are a commercial industrial electrical contractor. Started that business with 3 other partners, Pete Ferenni, James Selecki, and Seth Anderson. We were pivoting from data center work. That was not happening after 9/11. And we decided that we had a business plan and we were gonna create something that would succeed past us. It would be a leader in workforce development, take care of our people, and give back to the communities. And here we went on with this business plan, and we started in Pete's basement. We took our savings, tools, equipment, everything we had, and we put it into the company. Wasn't glamorous, we didn't pay ourselves. We were starting in a bad economy, no local relationships, in a very competitive environment here in the Rocky Mountain Range. And it was neat to see how God was with us through all of that and had blessed our work. And our work started out with some of this mercy work. So as we're starting to get our first jobs, we realized, gosh, we want to do stuff on the community side, and we're working with at-risk youth and at-risk adults, and we have this big workforce need. Construction was taken out of our schools in the late 80s, so we didn't have a lot of connection and warmth and opportunity and help on the workforce development side. Thankfully, we've made a lot of progress, and we now have our different industries back into our schools, so that's neat to see. Construction is one of the 6 largest employers in most of our states, and so it's been a neat journey just seeing this building different careers within construction. So workforce need, and we had this community charity need. And we thought, we have a warehouse. What if we take this power of a job and we take these at-risk youth, at-risk adults, and we start training them on components around electrical, around safety, and a pre-apprenticeship program. And we were developing, didn't know at the time, we were developing our fabrication program, which is now many locations and many states across the country. When we started this program, we didn't think, we need XYZ people to matriculate into our apprenticeship program. We just did it because it was the right thing to do. And so we set up a structured environment. We started this training, and we started having folks go out into our apprenticeship and out into the field. And our field leaders and our teams would say, oh my goodness, where are you finding these candidates? They're super engaged, excited, and they're on fire. Little did they know, many of them, this was their last opportunity for a job, for a team to believe in them, for somebody to be able to pay for their apprenticeship and have this career opportunity. So this was neat. We didn't know how our employees were going to, if they would share their stories and if our employees would accept them. We didn't talk about it, we just started doing this. And it was neat to see, stories were shared, tough backgrounds, tough past, criminal activity, and our employees were like, okay, that's the person in the rearview mirror. How do we look at the person and where you're going forward and this opportunity for a career in construction? And so play this forward. God continues to bless this. This was not a popular thing to do. At the time, you could not get your electrical license if you had any type of criminal justice background. So we worked with the State Electrical Board, we worked with DORA Regulatory Agency to set up a hearing and what could that look like for those that had shown, productive citizens and they need this opportunity to continue their career and provide for their family. So now that's part of the process. More people are connecting with different nonprofits in this area. And so play that forward. We continue to grow the business, and we learned that we're a bit of a unicorn. 99 out of 100 businesses never reach over $10 million with an annual revenue. And 0.004% of companies, 0.04% of companies, founding companies like us, stay together and ever reach over 100 million a year. Well, we're hitting all of these stats. We're blowing it out of the water. God's blessing our growth. We're going into multiple states. We're growing almost every year we're in business. We're acquiring other companies. And then we have the opportunity where someone approaches us to be acquired. And what would that look like if we start to pull our regions together, our states together, work together? And so we decide to become part of Loenbro. Loenbro is a national contractor, now not just doing electrical services, we're doing multi-craft services. And now we're in multiple states across the region, employing over 4,200 employees. And the exciting piece for this, with us and becoming part of this, is we now are a faith-based business. So this is completely different. And we're leading with that. I can lead with all the other things I just talked about, but we're leading now with this faith-based piece. So what does that look like for us? So again, when we were building our company, we knew that life was happening in the workplace. And when we started the company, we thought, we're gonna take care of all this life coming into the business with the basic benefits that we set up. And we wanted to have them to be better than anybody else was doing that. So we're being thoughtful about how many vacation days and having more PTO days than others. How do we pay 100% of health insurance when others weren't? How do we pay 100% of apprenticeship when others weren't? Okay, now let's start paying for the books. Anything we could make it better for our people, we were working on that culture piece. 401k, we not only want to educate everybody, please take opportunity of this free money, matching money we're giving, but let's it be vested and let it immediately go to our employees. So any of those things we were working on, thinking, right, we're doing the right thing, we're taking care of our people, we're gonna build this great culture. And then we realized life is still happening and it's coming into the business. Calls would come in, conversations would come in. My daughter's trying to commit suicide. My wife has left me. I have to take care of an elderly parent. I have mental health issues with somebody in my family. Transportation, just the issues were real and life was heavy and happening. So we realized we need to add more services to support our employees and do this connecting and offering mercy. So we start to work with different nonprofits, employee assistance programs. So they're offering free counseling programs, free coaching, quit smoking, figure out transportation, elder care, child care, all different types of trainings, really neat services that those nonprofits provide. And then part of Loenbro, we also have the opportunity now to offer chaplain services. So I'm pretty sure chaplain services are here. That's been neat to have chaplains meet with our different office teams. They meet on our different job sites. Just 2 weeks ago on a job site, we had another subcontractor. Our team found the gentleman on the floor. He had had a heart attack. They worked to try to resuscitate him. They weren't successful, and the gentleman passed away. That's traumatic. Shut down the job site. So chaplains go out to not only serve our team, serve that entire job site, other subcontractors, to talk through that process of grief, to celebrate this gentleman that passed away, and our team that tried to save his life. Right? So these chaplain services, all these things are just really a neat fabric of life that's going on and how we're taking care of people. So this journey continues for us to figure out how to show up well with all of our employees. And when I start talking about these things, some of it feels like, wow, we're just talking about the tough stuff with life and happening with our employees. But let me also talk about the celebratory piece, right? Celebrate at every turn. Our employees want to be seen, they want to be known, and there's so much to celebrate. We actually have a procedure around a lot of our celebratory things that we do. So celebrating different birthdays, anniversary gifts. We have a whole lineage of all these different things that you can get when you have anniversaries with our company. There's a marriage, there's a birth, you win a race. We have all these children in different competitions, winning state, just neat things that is this whole family and this community and this culture at work. We look at how we're serving. We have a community team of about 25 people, and they work to help our company serve over 100 different nonprofits each year. How do we get our employees engaged with that? How do we work with our clients? We have a client strategy plan for each client we work with, and how does that look like, and how we're spending time with them, how we align with them in values, and what we're doing in the community. So pulling our clients out into community events or doing things that our clients are passionate about on the nonprofit side. We are celebrating working in schools. We're doing all different types of service projects, fun things. It could be a game. It could be taking the families to a harvest festival. We're doing cornhole tournaments to celebrate graduation. I feel like we are a construction company, but half the time it's like an event management company. There's just so much going on, and it's so fun, and it is engaging for our employees. I think one of our events that employees sign up for the fastest is to shoot each other at the paintball event. So that's really fun. And then also just celebrating our people outside of the company and putting our individual employees up for awards in the industry, our projects in the industry. And so we just are celebrating at every turn. And that continues to be this piece of purpose and this piece of community. So as I'm sharing all of this, right, there's a lot in there, a lot of planning, a lot of strategy, and a lot of intention. And so I always say, God bless our HR teams and our leadership, because this need for business to engage with employees and this focusing on our workforce is a lot, and it requires a budget, it requires planning. But I always stop us here and I say, don't let it feel heavy. I encourage us that this is an opportunity for business to be this force for good. And I love the data behind this. You probably heard of a good job, a quality job. There's all this data now. Deloitte, Fortune, Department of Labor, there's so many different research studies on this. I like Deloitte's definition of a good job. When we look at that, we're like, yeah, we want to provide a good place for our people, focus on our people, have advancement opportunity, training, have equity where people have an opportunity to advance in the company. But if you see at the end, it talks about a sense of purpose and a sense of belonging. If you're going through this as a checklist, you're trying to have KPIs, and how do you measure that? That's pretty like, how do you measure sense of belonging? How do you measure sense of purpose? Like as a business owner, leader, that's a lot. When Deloitte surveys companies, they ask if this is something that's important to do as human sustainability and focusing on people and purpose and sense of belonging. 76% of companies say that this is important work. They should be doing it. 46% of businesses are doing something in this place, but only 10% of businesses are really doing something significant in this area. And so this is where I say, wow, this is this opportunity where you can differentiate in your industry from competition by doing small things that dial back to the individual and seeing your employee and knowing your employee and your teams and creating a culture. And it can be different in all of your different businesses, but this is an opportunity to set yourself apart. For those of you that look at the ROI and look at the data, it shows that there's a 2.2% 5-year return on equity for companies that are focusing on this work. So purpose in the workplace. Earlier, Ross talked about some purpose data. I'm going to ask you the opposite question from some of the Gallup polls. What percentage of employees do you think are engaged in the workplace? Shout out an answer and see if you paid attention to his stat earlier. What percentage of your employees are showing up, 0 to 100, are engaged in the workplace? 50, 32, 15, 24. Got a grim group here. Okay, usually when you ask people, they're like, I don't know, over half the employees should be engaged in the workplace, right? But the data's showing here in the US, 31% of employees are engaged. Like, that hurts my heart as a founding partner, an owner, leader, someone that's been at this for many, many years, caring for our people, focusing, drive. You could ask my team, this is what drives all the stuff that we do in the workplace, is making people feel special, that they belong, they can connect. And interesting thing here is the data shows that those companies that are focusing on purpose, belonging, culture, setting the vision, communication, and collaboration, that engagement increases up to over 70%. So some local foundations got with Gallup and they said, if purpose in the workplace can move this needle from 31% to over 70% engagement, Gallup, please do a study on this. So there's a recent study from Gallup on purpose, and it's so exciting. I love the data. When Gallup talks about, asks individuals, hey, rate the things that you find purpose in. You can pick 3 things. No surprise, family shows up at the top. We have friends, or work shows up second, showing identity. You can have this sense of purpose at work. We spend a lot of time at work. Then you have family, friends, hobbies, and then you see faith on there. Like, yes, this is what I've been working for all these years, and believing that we can combine all of these things in the workplace. We spend so much time out of church. We spend most of our time at work, right? You have this opportunity to combine all these things together. A different way of looking at the data. Left side of the screen is less engaged, right side of the screen is very engaged. So employees that are finding businesses that align with those things they just ranked as things that are important to them, showing purpose for them, businesses that align with that, to the right, we're now showing 45% aligns with purpose. I am more engaged. The next column over, the 43%, I'm still kind of open, I'm looking, people can ping me, recruiters can do that. But the stressed out and the burnt out categories are much lower. So this purpose thing is real, right? So I love the data on that. For us at Loenbro, we look at, I serve now as the Chief Revenue Officer for this larger company, and great opportunity. We look at our mission, vision, values. We boil it down to something really simple into our LEAD acronym. If you were to take any of our values, I would say you could just take the live with integrity and drop the mic, right? You're just gonna show up all the time, doing the right thing, and you're gonna be good stewards of your relationship with your team, with the client, and with our community. That kind of sums it all up. So these show up not just in training, not just in Employee of the Month, not just in annual awards, not just in newsletter interviews. It shows up in our reviews. So twice a year, employees are rated on our values. So we're pushing this value thing. And as we continue to do training in this journey and purpose, we also are having more conversation about how can we drive purpose into all the positions at work, okay? So past these values, how do we pull this all together? And we used to train an electrician, and we would talk about, okay, what you're building in this room or this panel that you're building, this is how it connects on the floor, into the building, into the one line, our switchgear room, whatever, the larger concept of what you're building in this building. And now we're working with our leaders to talk about, well, what about the purpose, how these values are showing up, and our purpose in a bigger scope. So as an apprentice on my wastewater or water treatment job, my purpose is to bring clean water to that community. As an electrician, as a plumber, as a welder, on my data center site, my purpose is to bring connectivity to the world. On my healthcare job, to save life, to give life. You can kind of see where this purpose thing can go. Our support teams, right? A lot of them are talking about, my purpose here at work is to make everybody better, to make sure they're connected with all these resources we have. They're connected to our community. They have career paths. They're retiring well in our industry. So there's all these different lanes of how we can pull this purpose thing in, and we are still on the journey and figuring it out. I leave you with this verse on the leadership side, and many of you have seen this, and you probably think about, okay, I'm gonna say everybody here in this room is a leader by title or not, is my guess, right? You're here looking to get different data and ideas of how to spur yourself on to good deeds here in the workplace. But I want to take a different angle on this verse. So we're called to lead people, right? To lead this flock that God has entrusted us to. And it says that he wants us to do it because we want to serve, not because we have to. And some of the translation is to not do it begrudgingly. And this has hit me pretty hard, different times of my career, and also working with different leaders. It's not like it's sunshine and roses all the time, and good night, especially not in construction. I have lots of stories, and that's a whole nother book that I could write. But when times are tough, right, are we realizing that God has put us in this position for a reason, and we need to rely on him, not on ourselves, and not complain about our employees, and not do this begrudgingly, right? I don't want to be that person in the industry. And if my team or any of my associates here that I know, please give me a little slap across the face, because this is a big responsibility we have to serve God and to do it, right? Because we want to and because it's a privilege. So no matter where you're at in your journey, I just encourage you, with this purpose work. It's important. There's small things you can take, different things you can take. I hope I gave you different examples, but I just encourage you to be this force for good with all the tools and resources that God's entrusted you. It makes a huge difference in the lives of our employees and our lives of our people. So God bless you.